Hello everyone. Today we are going to understand one research paper which was published in American Heart Association Journal Circulation. So myself Dr. Bipin Gond, I will try to explain what all findings were observed in this research. So title of the research was comparison of 5 antihypertensive monotherapies and placebo for change in left ventricular mass in patients receiving nutritional hygienic therapy in the treatment of mild hypertension study, which is also called as TOMHS study. The study was conducted in the year 1995 to 1999. So the study was more focused on left ventricular mass. So what is the importance of LVM? So increased left ventricular mass is associated with increased risk of cardiovascular diseases. So it is of interest to compare the effects of both pharmacological and non-pharmacological approaches to the treatment of hypertension on reduction of LVM. So it was a randomized double-blind placebo-controlled comparative clinical study. The total number of participants were 902 and the study duration was for 4 years. Mild hypertensive patients with increased LVM taking 0 molecule or 1 molecule of antihypertensive medicines were included in this study. Normal patients, moderate hypertensive and severe hypertensive patients were excluded, and also patients with cardiovascular diseases and evidence of LVH on ECG were also excluded from this study. Total 1536 participants were screened, and out of which 844 were finally confirmed for the research study. Four clinical centers were there where this research was conducted. As far as intervention, in intervention, two groups were prepared. The one group received a monotherapy, means single antihypertensive drug, and the other group was with placebo. So one group was taking one or the other antihypertensive drug, single drug, and the other group was on placebo. But in both the groups, a nutritional hygienic intervention was done, which was aimed at weight loss, lowering of sodium and alcohol intake, and increasing physical activity. So lifestyle modification was common in both the groups. The first group was receiving antihypertensive therapy medicines plus lifestyle modification, and the second group was receiving placebo with lifestyle modification. So the total mean age of the participant was 55 years. 20% black people were included in this study. 62% were on monotherapy. Average blood pressure was 140/91. Average BMI was 29, and average urine sodium excretion was 54 mmol 8 hour overnight. So randomization was done. 234 participants were included in placebo studies. Rest participants were accordingly distributed. Like in chlorthalidone group, diuretic group, 136 participants were there. In beta blocker group, 132 participants. In alpha antagonist, 134 participants. Calcium channel blocker, amlodipine group, 136 participants. And in AC inhibitor group, enalapril, 135 participants were included. So in this way the randomization was done. And the second important thing which we have to note here is that key additionally, if in case BP was uncontrolled, in such patients chlorthalidone 15 milligram per day was added. Whereas in chlorthalidone group, in case of if in case BP was rising at that time, enalapril 2.5 milligram was added for the BP control. Echocardiogram was performed at baseline, at 3 months, and then annually. Systolic blood pressure, diastolic blood pressure, weight, alcohol intake, physical activity, and urine sodium levels were also monitored at 3 months and later on annually. This is the baseline measurement where we can see all the parameters which was recorded on 2D echo. Here I need to focus your attention on LV mass, which was mean was 202 with a standard deviation of 58, and LV mass index was 102 with standard deviation of 25.3. So this chart basically shows us what happened to the medication during this whole research. So initially 100% people were taking medicines and also were taking placebo, but after 3 months you can see as in acebutolol group 92% people were taking acebutolol and rest other medicine was added to control the blood pressure. Similarly in other groups also you can see uh, one thing to observe is here initially after 3 months 93 participants were taking placebo, but later on as the years progress 58.5 percent participants are only taking placebo. In rest cases additional chlorthalidone was added to control the blood pressure levels. The change which was observed is as you can see in weight reduction was seen in both the groups, in active group, in placebo group also. In active group 8 pounds weight loss was seen, and in placebo group 7.5. Similarly in sodium urinary sodium reduction was 10 in active group and 10.6 in placebo group, near about same. Alcoholic drinks 1.1, 0.9. Physically activity points were more in active group 101, and in placebo group it was 73. Diastolic blood pressure was initially 12.3, has reduced 12.3 in active group, and in placebo group it was 8.6. Systolic blood pressure 15.9, and similarly other readings you can see here. Okay, so you can see the changes were almost similar in both the groups, in medicine group and in placebo group also. In this table left ventricular mass reduction is shown. So at 3 months we can see in active group minus 21.3 uh, gram was the reduction, and placebo group was 23.9, which in placebo group it was more compared to active group, the participants who were receiving antihypertensive therapies. At 12 months uh, group A active group was 23.6 reduction by LV mass was reduced by 23.6. In placebo group it was reduced by 18.2. Similarly at finally if you see the average, so average change was 26.1 in active group, and in placebo group it was 27. So this shows that the in placebo group and in active group, in both the groups similar reduction was seen. So overall outcome, if we try to understand the change in blood pressure, average 16 by 12 mmHg in the active treatment groups and 9 by 9 mmHg in the placebo group. All groups showed significant decreases 10% to 15% in LVM from baseline that appeared at 3 months and continued for 48 months. The chlorthalidone group experienced the greatest decrease at each follow-up visit, average decrease 24 gram, although the difference from other groups were modest, average decrease among 5 other groups. Participants randomized to NH nutritional hygienic intervention only had mean changes in LVM similar to those in the participant randomized to NH intervention plus pharmacological treatment. The greatest difference between group was seen at 12 months with mean decrease ranging from 35 grams in chlorthalidone group to 17 gram in acebutolol group. P-value was significant 0.001. Within group analysis showed that changes in weight, urinary sodium excretion and systolic BP were moderately correlated with changes in LVM, being statistically significant in most analyses. What we can conclude from this research, the study findings indicate that in individuals with mild hypertension and no underlying structural heart disease, nutritional hygienic therapy alone is as effective as combining it with various classes of antihypertensive drugs in reducing left ventricular mass. Efforts to address weight and sodium intake are crucial in managing mild hypertension and LVH. The addition of diuretic chlorthalidone may have a modest additional effect on reducing LVM. So we can clearly understand with this research that for reducing left ventricular mass, uh, antihypertensive medications are not having a major role, but lifestyle modification, uh, which includes weight loss, so salt restriction, reducing alcohol intake, and increasing physical activity has a similar role compared to antihypertensive medicines. So this is all we can conclude from this research. The research paper link you can see on your screen. So this was all about this research which was published in American Heart Association in Circulation Journal. Thank you.